Oh, let me tell you this. I was 12 years old when I stopped believing in Santa Claus. Ain't that crazy? It's true. I was 12 years old. And the reason I was 12 because I really believed that everything my parents told me was the truth. I mean, I believed in Santa Claus. I believed in fairy godmother. That's the one that dropped the tooth under your pillow when your tooth come out. I believed in a Easter bunny, all that because my parents told me. I mean, I got in a lot of arguments with my friends in school who was telling me that there was no Santa Claus, but I kept saying, my parents told me this. I know it's the truth because my parents will never lie to me. I mean, really, I remember my brother was 10, he got into a fight with somebody over Santa Claus. And he didn't get suspended because the teacher thought it was cute that he still believes in Santa Claus. But I was 12 years old, and the only reason that I stopped believing in Santa Claus is because one night on Christmas Eve, my I heard my mother and my sister. My sister's 5 years older than me, so she was 17, so she wasn't believing in Santa Claus. So she was helping my parents with setting up stuff for Christmas. So I heard them downstairs. Now, like in my house that I grew up in, if you come up the stairs, I'm on the second floor. The first room on your right was my bedroom, and usually on Christmas Eve, my parents made us close our bedroom doors, and they would close the doors that lead down to the kitchen. Because if you come down the stairs, if you go to your left, you end up going down to the hallway. That's where the Christmas tree and stuff was. But if you go to your right, it's like a little stairway that would lead down to the kitchen. And if you close those doors, you can't really hear what's going on downstairs. But for some reason, they had the doors open at night. So I'm hearing my mother and my sister having a conversation. My mom is saying, "Oh, I can't believe that she still believes in Santa Claus." Now I'm the older she because everybody else is my I have brothers. My sister downstairs, so I know she's talking about me. She said she always asking questions, and I just surprised that she's still believing in Santa Claus all this time. So my heart just sank. Like, what? There's no Santa Claus? I can't believe this. They've been lying to me all this time. I can't believe my parents would actually lie to me. So I jumped out of bed. I ran downstairs. I said, "You mean ain't no Santa Claus? You've been lying all this time?" My mother was like, I just couldn't believe that she had taught me all them years. And the thing is that was so hard to believe that there wasn't Santa Claus because my mother and father had lied. Now my father, I would have never thought he was lie about anything. And he is lying to me about Santa Claus. And I was like, "Well, is there Easter Bunny?" And he was like, "No." It's like, "So what about the fairy godmother?" "No." So I ran back upstairs. I woke my brothers up. I was like, "It's no Santa Claus. They've been lying all these years." So that was a strange Christmas that year because 90% of the conversation was about how they lied to us from birth. See, that's the kind of brainwashing that happens to us. Like we hear something from the time we're young, and we believe in the people that's telling us this. We believe that they're not lying to us. We believe that they're telling us the truth with all our heart. We don't believe that they would ever lie to us. So when you find out that they have been lying, it's like a shock to your system. Like, you can't believe this. Now, the way you can stop that from happening generation after generation, like my children, never told them about a Santa Claus. I never told them about an Easter bunny. I never told them about a fairy godmother. I mean, they still enjoyed those things. Like, you know, I put the tooth under their pillow. I put the money under their pillow. I told them that we bought the Christmas presents. It was never a fake person that we pretended things on because I didn't want my kids I never want to lie to my kids about anything. So, and it's a lie. But that's how people feel when they find out stuff like the news is not real, that the news is a lie. They feel that same crush, or when they find out the stuff that they learned in school was just lies. It's how you brainwash people. You get them from an early age and you teach them something as if it's the truth, if it's really, really real. And they believe it. They believe it with all their heart because they don't question people that they believe in, people that this is person who I trust. So when they hear that the news is not real, they don't want to accept it. Because this is a place where they trust all their life. They trusted the news to bring them information. But if you think about it, the news has never, ever, 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 ever told you that they telling the truth. They never said this is real information. It's They call it news programming, television programming. They're programming your mind to think a certain way. It's actually just propaganda. That's the only thing that the news pushes. Now, I don't watch the news, and what I've noticed is that the people who don't watch news or don't watch pretty much any television, they may watch movies and stuff like on Netflix and stuff like that, but they don't watch any programming on television. They're the people who really can think a lot more clearer and see things a lot clearer than people who literally sit and watch news after news or news for hours and days, and every day they got to check on the news or have the news running in the background, because the news is actually brainwashing it. They're programming you to think the way they want you to think. They program you to behave the way they want you to behave. Like, just look at this epidemic that just happened with COVID. Everything on TV, there was no news for 3 months except COVID-19, COVID-19, COVID-19. That's all you heard on every news channel all day long, 24 hours a day was COVID-19. And people be in fear. Oh my God, COVID-19. They walking around wearing masks because the news is telling them to do that. Nobody else is telling them to do that, but the news is telling them to do that. They're walking around with these masks on, and they're not really thinking. They're just reacting and doing what they're being programmed to do. It's like yabba, dawa, do. You ever watch that Flintstone where everybody was like programmed yabba, dawa, do? That's what everybody is like because they watch this news program. And they sit here and say, oh my God, but 100,000 people died from COVID. But they don't realize last year it was 80,000 people died from the flu and nobody said a word. Nobody even knew about it. Nobody wore a mask. Nobody walked around and standing socially distanced. Because the news is reprogramming the world and they're programming your minds. And there are people who argue and say, well, I know people who died. I don't know nobody who died from the flu. I know people who died from COVID, but actually everybody who died from the COVID died from they had some kind of underlying condition. And that's the same thing that happens with the flu. My sister works in a place with senior citizens. She's been doing that for 30 something years. Every single flu season, during the flu season time, a lot of her patients pass away. A lot of the elderly pass away during that particular time because their bodies are old and they can't fight. Their immune system can no longer fight off certain viruses and diseases. So a lot of times during flu season, they make the employees get flu shots. My sister doesn't get the flu shot, so they make her walk around with a mask because the mask is supposed to protect other people, not actually protect you, but protect other people from you. But she would be more than happy to wear the mask as opposed to getting one of those vaccines. So she went and she got a mask and she would wear it. In every season, the seniors would pass away at a more rapid rate than they would pass away during any other time. That's the same thing that's happening now. Like, seniors are passing away at a rapid rate. And maybe this is a little stronger strain. Maybe more seniors are passing away. But in general, if you're a healthy person, there's no reason to walk around with a mask on. And then they tell you this lie that you may not have the symptoms, but you might be a carrier of it. That don't even make any sense. If you use your brain to think, have you ever had the flu as a carrier of the flu? Either you had the flu or you don't. It's a virus. Either you have the virus or you don't have the virus. You're not carrying around the virus and not knowing that you're having the virus. It makes no sense, but they want to keep you in fear. They want you always in fear. But it's going to be the same kind of shock when you find out that this information that you've been getting has just been a bunch of lies to you. Like the same way, man, I've heard about my parents. Now, when my parents were telling me about Santa Claus, they didn't even benefit anything out of making these lies up. So it was kind of pointless to me. It took away from them. They were the ones actually buying the gifts and stuff for us, but they was giving the credit to some mystical man named Santa Claus. They were the ones giving us money under our pillow when our tooth came out, and they was giving up the credit to some mystical fairy godmother. They was giving us the candy for Easter, but they was giving the credit to some mystical Easter bunny. But it's not that way with the news and in the government that's, telling the news what to say or that owns the news. The news is owned by people, right? Most of the news is owned by pharmaceutical companies. MSNBC is owned by Microsoft, which is Bill Gates, who pushes drugs and vaccines because he makes billions off of it, and he gets to play around with technology and his vaccines and how they can change us, who we are on the inside. Um, and people just have to stop being brainwashed. You have to start using your mind. And let me tell you how you brainwash people. Really simple and easy. One, you can tell them stuff from the time they're born and they believe it. That's just it, because from the time you're 0 to about 7 years old, you have a subconscious mind, but not a conscious mind. Your conscious mind hasn't developed yet. So everything that you learn, you're just going to absorb and believe it to be true. So when you start getting a conscious mind, you can kind of start to, believe what you need to believe and putting that into your subconscious mind, but blocking it with your conscious mind. But most people don't even understand how their mind works, and that's how come we can be controlled, because the people who run this world, they know very well how the mind works, and they operate working on your mind. So what I'm going to be showing you, I'm your subconscious. I'm going to teach you how to stop being programmed and how your subconscious mind works and how you can use that subconscious mind to really do anything for yourself. I don't care what it is. If you learn how to use how you learn how to use your superpower, I call it the superpower because it's a real superpower. If you learn how to use your subconscious mind or use your superpower, there's no limit to what you can do. But if you don't know how to use it and you just willy-nilly let the other people control your subconscious mind, you can believe anything and everything that they just constantly repeat. That's how come the news runs 24 hours and they constantly repeat over and over and over again. Or you'll see it when every single news reporter is saying the exact same words, because they're programming your mind. They understand how to program your mind. So you need to learn how to program your mind and stop being brainwashed. So do me a favor. If you want to learn how to do this, subscribe to the channel. Give me a little like button if you like the video. Share it with your friends, because we need to really start taking back our world, start taking back our mind, and start letting these demons control our world. And we don't even realize it because we're trusting in the wrong people. We're trusting in government. We're trusting in news reporters. We're trusting in people who do not mean us any good. They do not mean this country any good. They do not mean anybody any good. But you won't understand that until you learn how to reprogram your mind and let them go. So share the video. Give me a subscribe. Hit the notification button so you'll be notified anytime that a video comes up. I'm trying to do this almost every day if I can. But close to every day, at least once a week, I'm going to start uploading. But I'm going to try and do it every day. So until next time, I'm Miss Conscious. Have a blessed and wonderful day.